I found out my own brother had told everyone I was not welcome at the most important family event of the year, and when I confronted my parents about it, they laughed like it was a joke. I didn't scream, I didn't beg, and I didn't fight. I just stood up, took my keys, and walked out with what little dignity I had left. 4 days later, everything they thought was so funny completely collapsed. And now my entire family says I went too far. So I need to know before I even start explaining this mess. Was I wrong for walking away and letting them face the consequences alone? Growing up, my brother and I were never close, but we weren't enemies either. He was the golden child, the one who could do no wrong, the one my parents bragged about to relatives and neighbors. I was the quiet one, the reliable one, the kid who helped around the house and never caused trouble. My parents used to say things like, "We don't worry about you because you're strong," which sounded like a compliment when I was younger, but eventually just meant I was expected to handle everything on my own. My brother got praise, attention, and excuses. I got responsibility. Still, I convinced myself that deep down, my parents loved us equally, just in different ways. As adults, that imbalance only grew. My brother married into money. His wife's family owned a successful business, and suddenly my parents treated him like he was some kind of celebrity. Every holiday revolved around his schedule. Every family decision was run by him first. Meanwhile, I worked a normal job, paid my bills, and lived a quiet life. I was proud of that, even if no one ever said it out loud. I stayed close to my parents, helped them with errands, fixed things around the house, and showed up whenever they needed me. I thought that counted for something. Then came the announcement that changed everything. My brother and his wife were hosting a massive family gathering at a rented hall. It was being framed as a family celebration, though no one was very clear on what we were celebrating. Still, my parents were buzzing with excitement. My mom called me every day to talk about outfits, seating, and how important it was that everything looked perfect. I assumed, naturally, that I was invited. I was family, after all. I found out I wasn't invited through a cousin. She called me, confused, asking why my name wasn't on the list. I laughed at first, thinking it was a mistake. Then she hesitated and said, "Your brother told us you weren't coming. He said not to tell you because you'd make a scene." I felt like the floor dropped out from under me. My own brother had decided I didn't belong, and everyone else just went along with it. I drove straight to my parents' house. I didn't even plan what I was going to say. I just needed answers. When I walked in, my brother was there with my parents, laughing about decorations. I asked him calmly why he told people I wasn't invited. He didn't even look embarrassed. He shrugged and said, "It's not a big deal. It's just easier if you don't come." I asked what that was supposed to mean, and that's when my mom laughed. Actually laughed. My dad smiled like he was watching siblings argue over something silly. My brother said I was too negative, that I didn't fit the image they were going for, that his wife's family was very particular. Then he said the words that are burned into my brain. "Just don't show up. No one will miss you." My parents didn't defend me. They didn't tell him to apologize. My mom wiped tears of laughter from her eyes and said, "You're being too sensitive. This is how things are." In that moment, something inside me snapped, but not in a loud way. It was quiet, cold, and final. I realized I was never going to win their approval, no matter how much I gave. So I stood up, said nothing, grabbed my jacket, and walked out. No dramatic exit, no slammed doors, just silence. I blocked my brother's number that night. I stopped answering my parents' calls. I told myself I was done begging to belong somewhere I clearly didn't. For the first 2 days, no one reached out. Then the messages started. My mom left voicemails saying I was being childish. My dad texted telling me to be the bigger person and just come to the event anyway. I ignored them all. I wasn't angry anymore. I was tired of being invisible until I caused a problem. Here's where things took a turn they didn't expect. 4 days after I walked out, the big family event fell apart. Completely. I wasn't there to see it, but I heard every detail afterward. The hall booking had been under my name. Years ago, my parents had asked me to handle it because I was good with details. I had paid the deposit, signed the paperwork, and kept everything organized. When I left that day, I didn't cancel anything out of spite. I simply stopped managing it. I assumed my brother, the star of the show, would handle it himself. He didn't. The payment deadline passed. The hall canceled the reservation. Vendors started calling me because my number was still on file, and I didn't answer. Decorations didn't arrive. Catering fell through. On the day of the event, my brother and his wife showed up to an empty hall with confused guests arriving behind them. My parents were humiliated. My brother was furious. His wife's family was embarrassed in front of their business partners. Suddenly, everyone remembered I existed. My phone blew up. Calls, texts, voicemails, all demanding to know what I had done. My brother accused me of sabotaging him on purpose. My parents said I had ruined the family's reputation. Not one of them asked how I felt or apologized for how they treated me. They just wanted me to fix it. I listened to one voicemail from my mom where she said, "You've made your point, now stop this nonsense and help us." That was the moment I realized they still didn't get it. So let me pause here and ask you directly, because this is where everything could have gone a different way. That was the situation I was in. I had the power to step back in, smooth everything over, and save them from embarrassment. Before I tell you what I did next, tell me honestly what you would have done in my place. Would you have helped them anyway? Or would you have let them face the consequences? I didn't respond. Not that day, not the next. Eventually, my brother showed up at my door unannounced. He didn't apologize, he yelled. He said I was selfish, that family helps family, that I'd gone too far over a joke. I told him calmly that jokes are funny, and exclusion isn't a joke. I reminded him of his exact words, "No one will miss you." I told him he was right. They didn't miss me until they needed me. Then I closed the door. The aftermath was ugly. My parents told extended family that I was unstable and jealous. Some relatives believed them. Others reached out quietly to say they understood. I lost people I thought cared about me, but I also gained something I'd never had before. Peace. For the first time, I wasn't bending myself into someone else's expectations. I wasn't waiting for scraps of approval. Months passed. The family gatherings stopped. My brother's marriage reportedly suffered because his wife blamed him for the public embarrassment. My parents stopped calling as often. When they did, it was awkward, careful, like they were afraid I might disappear again. They never apologized, not really. They just wanted things to go back to how they were. With me quietly holding everything together in the background, I didn't go back. I built my own life, new traditions, new people who didn't laugh at my pain or treat my presence as optional. Sometimes I still feel sad, because no one grows up dreaming of cutting off their family. But then I remember standing in that living room, being laughed at for wanting basic respect, and I know I made the right choice. So that's my story. I walked away when I was told I didn't matter. And when everything fell apart without me, I refused to be the emergency fix. Maybe some people think that's cruel. Maybe they're right. But I finally chose myself. If you are on my side in this, hit like on this video. If you want to hear more real, messy stories like this one, make sure you subscribe. And I really want to know what you think about all of this. So share your final thoughts in the comments. I'll see you all in the next story.